Keep in mind that I do not intend to be your master or to prove to anyone that I can feast, and I personally achieve. This book is a pure act of devotion to the requests of many souls to make things easier and allow us to help one another achieve our full potential. And in this incarnation, whether you consider yourself to be new to the spiritual way of the ancient, I designed the book so that all of you can get your share while feeling supported as well as challenged and channeled. Some concepts and experiences I will expose might be a lot of process for the first at some. But until one sees the whole body of spirituality, the comprehension cannot be perceived. It's rightfully so. If you show me the hand, you cannot tell me that you do not believe in the foot, and eventually you'll be able to see the whole human body in its full glory and beauty. For years I have heard, I believe. And it's what you say about the holistic healing methods and the astral traveling planes. And I've heard that you believe in what you say about the holistic healing and astral traveling and the incarnate sounding a little crazy. One cannot pick and choose what to believe or in think is true. And it is a body and comes as a whole. All of these are a nuisance and a spiritual phenomena that occur from one unique element. That has to be acknowledged first, acknowledge in the soul and body of the experience, which is no longer a simple belief. The one thing that I want you to believe is in yourself. And I don't need you to believe in me either. You can just promise me if you're fun, you'll be a fun rad for a lot of people. I don't need you to believe me either. You can just know me. And if you know what I mean, another fun rad if you get my Marilyn, Blanche, and Samantha. You might ask yourself, how come an adult star teach me about spirituality? First, this part. My work does not define me. Yet you'll see one of the concepts and is presented by the universe in a way that is agreeing to itself. Third, it's a common belief in an old perception of spirituality that is reaching enlightenment with what has not been there for thousands of years. We made a huge mistake by trying to suppress the sexual aspect of divinity. We were born onto this world because of our souls that were challenged. My premise is simple. This world, it's only known as enlightenment when it's divine to human beings, and they're embracing their flourishing as the most powerful energy on the planet. Suppressing it has only caused precautions. Catfishing, lies, shame, and betrayal, guilt, envy, and more. Let's bring back praise in the most beautiful human experience on earth, and that gives us all life. The current order of chapters is meant to lead you astray, and can refrain you from a certain understanding of your own supernormal till you get a physical shape, and shaman will be big, digging deeper into the most advanced subjects. You can also decide to make your own journey according to your preferences and what's going on with you, while you're more than welcome to choose your own reading path of this contract. Here are 4 different other recommendations for you and your little group. It's simply going from chapter 1 to 18. If you can count well, then it goes from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3. For 1, you want to jump into the medium. In 2, the psychic Masonic mastery of it all. Right away, you can choose a supernatural soul reading path is defined by the numbers that you choose on the astral plane. 1, 2, 15, 16, and the lucky number 17. This is a void war. It's a variety of paranormal elevated schemes. In this you can feel. These are simply suggestions, and you don't have to make a choice now. At the end of the first chapter, where a decision needs to be made, you'll be reminded of who you are and of your purpose proposed options. To keep it simple, that will be the only time when I remind you of your options. And like in real life, you might also sometimes change your mind. Again, follow your intuition. if you were to create your own journey and come back to the wheel. At the end of it, your reading will be free and you will feel revisited in any chapters, as your perspective of each subject will have involved an aftertaste of a global comprehension of spirituality. This is not meant as a binge reading masterpiece either. Your brain might need to rest at times to process and experience the concepts presented to the divine reading. In this I shall, and first things first, before we go further for a long walk I'd like to call Daddy's reading time, please make sure you are in a comfortable position. Your bum cheeks are feeling the seat you're sitting on, and don't mind me. I am comfortable, with all head down and a split hanging from the ceiling, whichever mental image you heal, and whichever mental image you have of me at this present moment is nullified. So go ahead and do anything you need to make yourself feel comprehensible. Anything. Yes, of course, you can remove some pieces of clothing. I did not even realize I was dressed all by myself. So, as you do as you please. There are no rules here. This is a private moment between you and I, me and you, and all of it. And I'm being honest. Wherever, whenever, actual physical body parts in this moment, I'm probably just in my underwear. Now let's focus. Together, let's take 3 deep breaths, calming the mind and being in an empty body. In this present moment, inhaling, exhaling. Again, inhaling, exhaling. One last time, inhale and exhale. Now, take a moment to observe how you feel without judgment. Maybe set an intention for today's reading, and if you cannot find the intention, it's okay. Daddy will take care of it. And you will deal with it with another mantra moment, mama. We'll use the following one to anchor the vibration of the upcoming teachings symbolically. This invocation is still chanted in India till this day as an opening form of a class. And let's take these Sanskrit vibrations and dive deep into your soul for a moment if you can receive the new knowledge in harmony. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhanktu, Saha Viryam Karavahai, Tejavasi Nadvai Tamastu, Ma Vaidyavashanai, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May our interactions as teachers and students and friends be blessed with the vitality of vitamin C, fruitfulness of a peach tree, and heartful harmony and peace. May we all be protected from the ego-desired nourishment. May we work together in great energy. May the intellect will link us up in a sharpened way, and our study be effective. Let there know. All the right, are we ready? Lisping little apprentices as yogis. Feel free to remain in silence while me is reading, and all of this at your personal verb. I have also created this matching playlist to vibe to while you infuse this drink and a way to connect the astral planes. Simply search for a Mountain Dew. Now that we are all Zen, we will cover the format of the elements that you're about to learn for some revisit, and stay open, receptive for Daddy. He might shake things up, and who doesn't have a good-looking shark? The Seven Skies Under intends to be a conversation piece, as you want. It gods all down, and we can simply be both in Ba. Because I know I will inherently be answering a question that will surely pop into a lot of your minds, and it's at ease with what is in a genuine conversation with you to I and touching your heart. I'm not going to go out there and write a perfectly proper manner, sophisticated word to impose on the feeling that I have established a power to be above you. Still, there is plenty of important spiritual vocabulary to learn, including concepts that have to be redefined based on their roots before. I have placed a glue and glued my whole reality together. I'll say, I do not intend to be your master. I'm not the one on the lookout for followers and beaches. So I care about you and for you, and I want you to be your own. It is and should be a thing of the past for people with a certain spiritual knowledge to place themselves below others. This attitude limits the access, and I made this worse for you, and you can try to make use of yourself. Cannot receive knowledge unless you go through them. We can all connect with the divine, for all has consciousness. Kana, it's a Western knife fabricated into a hierarchy of knowledge, deceptive, depriving some for the useful tools, and creating illusional barriers, and at points, the harming itself. That being said, I'm not just here to judge. I'm also here to have a genderless, accentless, languageless origin background education of anything and everything. My grandparents spoke of rough and Saimtai Kao. Yeah, they were really impressed by the most brilliant parts of my spiritual knowledge, discarding the teachings because their accents got in the way and they sounded funny. This bad habit needs to be lifted and left behind, for many sources to come are in our bounds. So your ears, eyes, and minds should be cut all. And I respect my grandparents for that. And their eyes witnessed a great deal of things. I know a lot, and I am a bit emotional here and there, feeling the love around myself. Now let's get real and shake things up.